The Deadlights eyes.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I'll play again.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Killer Mom.
I'm just gonna bash you in the face.
What's blood for? If not for shedding.
Welcome to 31 Days of Horror Movies 2021. I'm your host, Sam Johnston. I think we're okay. I'm back with me again, Adam.
It's me.
We survived.
We did.
We
We made it through.
We're talking about Tremors.
Tremors.
From 1990.
Oh my God.
In the 90s, baby. Directed by Ron Underwood. Written by S.S. Wilson, Brent Maddock, and Ron Underwood as well. Natives of a small, isolated town defend themselves against strange underground creatures which are killing them one by one. In the beginning, they take some time, but once you get to that third act, you're like, it's like problem solving. Like it's a big puzzle that they've found themselves in. And it pretty much is the whole movie of them just trying to figure out this puzzle of what's going on.
Outthink the thing that is outthinking them.
And there's so many plans that go wrong. But then that makes them learn how to do the next plan.
Exactly.
Everything that they're doing is leading to the next thing that they do, and they eventually get smarter and smarter.
Yeah.
Like the worm, too, is getting smarter.
Also getting smart. Everything they do, they can't do a second time. The worm begins to understand, oh, this is a trick.
It starts from the top with Kevin Bacon, who plays Valentine.
Yeah, Valentine McKee.
Valentine McKee.
Yeah.
And he's peeing off. Val.
Yeah.
I wrote him down as Val, too.
Yeah.
He's peeing off the cliff. And then we meet his partner, Earl, who's sleeping in the back of the truck.
Fred Ward.
Fred Ward.
It's so funny that it begins and they're putting up this barbed wire onto a fence post, and they're like, now this is no job for a smart man or for an intelligent man. And then
they're always talking about we need to get out of here.
Yeah, we need to get out of here. We can't just be doing this with our lives and how intelligent they are. But then Kevin Bacon is going to nail in the barbed wire, miss with the hammer.
It just goes on so long of just trying to get it in. Kevin Bacon, Val, is the younger, more naive, idealistic kind of guy who has a dream. I think Fred Ward is kind of just more set in his ways.
Yeah, ready to give up. Yeah.
This is it. Yeah. This is the way we're just going to keep working. And they complement each other really well, and they have a really, I think, fun and interesting moment, which kind of says that they need each other through this whole movie when they're trying to light the cigarettes.
Yeah.
One of them, Fred Ward, finds the lighter, and then he's looking in the rest of his pocket, while Kevin Bacon finds the cigarettes in his pocket and looking in the other. And then they realize they're each holding
the other thing.
Yep. And they do that, I think, again. They do that twice in the movie.
Twice more.
It's like they need each other. Yeah. They are this perfect team up. Then they go meet the, what do they call it? The seismologist?
Yep.
The earthquake study college student.
Yeah. Geologist, seismologist, college.
Rhonda.
Yeah.
In the desert. And Val is super horny.
Super horny. Well, at first he hears, he knows that there's a college student coming into town. Right. And he's like, I hear she's a girl, a lady, a woman. And drives across the desert, and then he describes his perfect woman, blonde hair, blue eyes. Big boobs, legs that go on for days.
Just
legs that go all the way up is what he says. And then pull up, and she's not blonde. She's a brunette. She's
got a bucket hat on.
Yeah, bucket hat on. She's got the zinc on her nose, and he immediately his penis goes soft. And you can see him deflate. And then you meet her, and she's just oh, there's something weird. Is anyone doing blasting around here? And they're like, no, we'll ask around.
Yeah, definitely. There's important information that she's saying in that scene, but what we're paying attention to, or what the audience is supposed to be paying attention to, is this playful thing between Earl and Val, where Earl knows that Val's super disappointed in Rhonda.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of playing with the fact that he is disappointed with them and is playing with her too. So yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Pretty shitty.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
shitty.
pretty shitty of both these characters.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
They're just kind of making fun of her behind her back. But then we arrive in the city of perfection for the first time. Tiny little town, downtown area, and they go to the general store, I believe, right away.
Yeah,
and they're talking about the college student looking at the seismographs and their theories too of what it is. It's clearly, and it becomes clear even later, that this is the meeting place of the town. It's like a unofficial town hall.
Yeah. So they find that dead body of some drunkard on the top of a power cable tower.
He's dehydrated.
Yeah, he dies of dehydration.
And then, they go to the sheep farm and they find all the sheep slaughtered and the farmer dead.
The hat of the farmer on the ground. Pick up the hat and he's like, ah. Yeah.
And they immediately think that it's a person doing it. That's what they go, that's what they start telling people. This is a person that's doing this. Someone's going, there's a maniac on the loose who's running around killing people. These are kind of like, I like these early kills that we're not seeing too much, but we know exactly what's going on. It again just reminds me of Jaws, where the first couple kills, you're not seeing it, you know exactly what's happening, but you don't have to see it yet.
So when they find that the road is collapsed, Kevin Bacon reverses his truck to turn around, and he hits like the dirt, and then his truck is like lifted up. It's like he's not getting traction.
You're hitched.
Yeah, you're hitched.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, no, I'm not. And then it like shifts down, and he like tears out of there. And when he arrives at the general store, I think the kid bouncing the ball finds the worm wrapped around the.
Yes.
Or maybe one of the people finds the worm wrapped around the axle.
Yes.
And they take it off. What is his name? Bert takes it off with a shovel, and they're all like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this must be the thing doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I immediately wrote down, oh, wow, they're small at this point. I was convinced, too, that, they're just really small right now, and they're going to get bigger.
Yeah.
After they find the worm caught in the truck we go to the night of the doctor and his wife. They're talking about retirement and being done, and you're like, oh, God, of course.
And then they get killed.
They
get killed because
Doc gets...
Yeah.
Well, actually, the worms in this scene are super smart because they eat the generator. And they cut out the power, which is like, okay, that's some pretty high-level thinking.
Yeah.
And they go and check it out, and then the doctor ends up getting sucked down.
Yeah.
She makes it to the car, and up until this point, we're like, okay, you're safe in the car.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, great. You're fine. But then they end up sucking the entire car underground.
And then they're heading up into the mountains to get to Bixby. And as they're heading up there, one of their horses gets sucked down.
Yes.
Yeah.
The horses get spooked, and then we see the little snake things pull it in again. That's when we get the reveal of the actual worm.
Yeah.
It comes out. It's massive.
Huge. And the snakes are in its mouth. They're
It's
like
its
little
tongue.
tongues.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Nasty. I wasn't expecting that, actually. I didn't know that's what the creature was. Wow. And the thing is it's blind, so it doesn't see anything. It's just feeling things out. It's just going full speed at the concrete wall and just kills itself. Just dead.
Like a bird hitting a window.
Yep. Yep, coming for Earl and Val, and it ends up going through the concrete and dying.
Yeah.
And this is also when Rhonda shows back up, because she was sensing her.
Yeah, something's there. Yeah.
And then we see the full reveal of how big this thing is. I found the tail!
Yeah. I found the ass!
I found the ass! Rhonda's kind of setting the rules of the worm, I guess. Talking about how it moves, about how it's blind.
We're learning things about the worm. We're learning a lot about the worm right now.
Yes. She then kind of freaks out and realizes that based off of her seismographs, there's 3 more. There's 4 total. There's 3 more of these big worms.
Yeah. And then they get stuck on a rock. They have to overnight on the rock.
They overnighted on the rock.
Yeah.
Which again, this movie is setting up things.
Yeah.
This will come back to the rock stuff later. It's setting up things pretty well to come back to. But thank God, a couple pole vaulters left there.
Yeah.
Their poles there.
Their giant poles left behind. Great.
Okay, so then we're back at the general store, and they're telling the people the truth about what's going on.
Everyone's behaving as if the things aren't there yet. And
Everyone else in the town is pretty like, what are you talking about?
The girl's outside with on her Walkman, bouncing on her pogo stick because that's her only entertainment in the world.
And this is when the worms do show up and attack the asshat kid.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, wait, what's going on out there? And they all run out and realize that he's up a pole. And boom, the thing comes from the earth.
Yeah.
Everyone get inside.
Yeah.
And
everyone scatters.
After the first attack, everyone's trying to stay quiet in the general store, but then the freaking Coke machine goes off.
The thing that they could have fixed earlier goes off. And then pull it out. They unplug it, and then boom.
Big ass blaster.
Yeah, big ass blaster.
Through the floor.
Yeah.
And there's this kind of like floor is lava scene where they're climbing up the general store shelves.
Yeah.
And they're all on top trying to get to the roof. They're all trying to get to the roof, but Rhonda gets trapped on one of the shelves that gets tipped over and falls out of a window. And she seems like she's lunch.
Yeah.
But they get to the roof and see that she made it to water tower.
So we got people all over the town on different heights and different
It's cool. This is when Bert and Heather show up at their place.
Yeah.
And Heather looks over the town and sees everyone on their roofs.
Yeah.
And is like, what the heck's going on? And then boom, through their bunker wall comes that big ass blaster. The big ass blaster comes through.
big ass blaster.
And the shootout begins. They're just like, that's when they run to their wall of guns.
It's just the way that like the camera pans from the giant monster that came in through one wall to the other wall that is just a museum of guns. That's just a wall of so many fucking guns. And then they start shooting all the fucking guns.
They just take every shotguns, machine guns, pistols, dual wielding pistols.
Yeah.
Finally, after what feels like a 5-minute scene of them,
just shooting
it, they finally put it down. Now everyone is in on this together. That is the first moment where now everyone is up to speed of what they have to do. Everyone's on their roofs, not together, but working as a team.
Yeah.
The worms start to figure out about the people who are on top of these structures, and then it seems like they're kind of testing which structures are strong enough. They test the building underneath Val and Earl, pretty strong. They test it under even the kid. They test under him, but the weakest foundation is the trailer, which Nestor is on. And you thought a tire?
Yeah. He's just lifted off the ground.
He's kind of inner tubing it.
Yeah, and it makes that sound too.
Yeah, it just sucks him in. It wasn't a great spot. Nestor.
No,
sorry,
not
Nestor.
good, not solid.
Adios.
Yeah.
So they have to come up with a new plan, and their new plan is the bulldozer.
Yeah.
Hitching the semi truck. Earl does win. He's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go, but then Kevin Bacon pushes him aside and
punches him in the gut.
Runs anyway. Again, another impulsive, not really thinking ahead moment.
Yeah.
He just runs towards what he thinks is right. What is he doing right?
Because he's faster.
Yeah.
And that's like the most important thing for survival. Gotta stay ahead of the worm. Yep.
Gotta stay ahead of the worm.
Gotta stay ahead of the worm.
They hear Val running and going towards him. Here comes Rhonda. With another good plan. She lets the water loose on the water tower.
Draw the attention.
And she gets the worm to come, putting herself in danger, and also taking out her escape route, which is the ladder, for Kevin Bacon to get to the bulldozer. And he does. They start picking everybody up. So they take a lot of bombs. It's like a full bag of bombs.
Yeah, huge double bag full of bombs.
They must have been working on those for like the entire time that we didn't see them.
They throw the bombs out, and it scares the worms away.
Right.
And so they throw it out where they're going, so the worms will like run away.
From there.
Yeah. They have a little moment of loss of hope. There's
Yeah,
a
it's
moment
true.
of like, oh, we gotta give up. There's no way we'll
No
get out
way.
of here. Yeah. It was a terrible plan.
Yeah, I think it's
Took us
Reba.
away. Yeah.
I think it's Reba's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm just giving up right now.
Yeah.
And kind of like rallies the troops again. Because even Val and Earl have been like, well, what do you want us to do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want us to do?
Earl.
Is it Earl?
Earl comes up with
Is it-
the idea. I was like, oh, fish.
Fish.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, they start luring the worm to one area with the rocks. And then they throw the bomb with a line attached.
Yeah. So it kind of drags.
So it drags and it's feeling the vibration. And then, yep, very much like a fish, just grabs on. And hey, for the first one, boom. Pumpkin everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Their guts very much
Yeah.
looked like the inside of pumpkin.
It was definitely pumpkin.
It had to be.
100% pumpkin.
It had to be.
Yeah, yeah.
One left.
We'll do it again.
Just do it again.
Okay, it's Stumpy this time. It's the one whose like tongue they pulled off that was connected to the truck. So,
Yes. And it does swallow it up.
yeah, it takes it down into the ground.
Yeah.
And then they all hunker down.
Like, yeah. Oh, shit.
That was like, when I watched that for the first time, I was like, oh shit. Whoa. Like,
Yeah, like
just like this thing has thought this through. And it lands, unfortunately, on the bag of all the other bombs.
except for Kevin Bacon is
Kevin
holding
Bacon
one.
has one. And that's what like I really love about this movie is there's so many like interactions with props and stuff that seem so minor but are so important. Like he just like tucks one in as he's like reeling it in. And it's like there's no like the movie never makes a point of him being like, I'm gonna hold on to one or anything like that. He's just like doing a thing while doing another thing.
It makes sense to me that Kevin Bacon is holding two because he's this set up this impulsive kind of wacky guy. Why wouldn't that guy grab two?
Yeah.
Two bombs.
Yeah.
Just like, why not?
Yeah.
It just, and it does come back. His impulsive personality, him choosing to do that, comes back to help them. And from that impulsive decision, he then makes a plan using what Earl has taught him to eventually come up with the final plan.
Yeah.
And after that explosion, they're stuck out in the sea of the desert.
If they don't move, it doesn't know where they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're stuck.
Yeah.
They're literally stuck, and everyone else is just saying, throw the bomb. Throw the bomb so it'll distract, so it'll get out of here and we can get back to the rock. And he's like, but it's our last bomb.
Yeah, then we have no bomb.
It's our last bomb.
Yeah.
He's thinking ahead for a second.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait a second. I got a plan.
Uh-huh.
Huh? I got a plan. Bye.
And he's running the wrong way, not towards the rock. And he's not throwing the bomb or anything.
Nope. And they go back to where the movie started, on the edge of this cliff.
Edge of the cliffs. Yep.
Finally lights it, throws it behind the worm to, again, scare it full speed away towards him.
Yeah.
And towards off the cliff.
Towards the cliff.
Bam.
Yeah.
Gone. It's blind. Pumpkin.
Check out my podcast, season 3, episode 4, wherever you can find podcasts. Words are words, the numbers are numbers.
Hell yeah, check it out. And you can find me at Beep Beep Richie T. Also check out Planker on Social, which is the studio that we're recording this at.
Right.
But until tomorrow, let's get spooky, Adam. They're here. Get up. Get off the ground.